rushing attempts were a little bit down this week compared to the previous weeks. Was it just kind of what they were giving you, or is there just another thought process behind that? They were just a little bit diminished this week.
Yeah, well, we didn't move the ball very good this week, and I don't think it had much to do with rushing attempts. Plays were down this week, so I think that was a bigger problem because we didn't move the ball effectively.
Chrissy?
What's your impression of Bryce Young's Alabama offense overall that you face next week?
I think they're good. They have quality players, and they're explosive. Several guys are pretty explosive, but I think he's pretty good. He can help himself with his feet.
Danny?
Coach, I know you were concerned about the energy in practice last week. I know you just had one day to judge it by, but how did he come back yesterday?
I thought we were fine yesterday. I thought we were fine yesterday.
Steph?
Mike, you guys had 6 false starts and 5 defensive holdings in that game against Kentucky. I guess what did you maybe see? I guess more specifically with the holding calls that maybe you guys can address and clean up a bit at practice this week.
Well, I saw a little of all the above. I saw technique, that we need to be better at. I saw dumb, and then I saw some that were kind of curious calls, so.
Mike, you took responsibility real quickly for the loss after LSU, after Kentucky. When you talk about practices in 2 of them, should player leadership have factored into helping turn that around last week?
They constantly try to build that, try to work that, try to elevate that, and so some of it happens naturally, but you got to do whatever you can to elevate it. I mean, we got a couple pretty strong leaders, Will and Buki, but I think that we need more guys behind them too. So.
Steph?
Mike, were you able to catch any of that Alabama-Tennessee game, or how much of it have you been able to kind of rewatch since? And what are your impressions of maybe some things that Alabama struggled with entering, this game, things that they're going to try to clean up?
Well, we watched the coach's film. I think that I thought that Tennessee played really fast. I thought that the quarterback and the receiver were really on the same page, and had some pretty good timing to when they got some of their explosive plays in there. It was a really tight back and forth game.
Steve?
Coach, we hear all the time about how difficult it is to play on the SEC road. What makes it so difficult to play a road game in the Southeastern Conference?
I think the biggest thing is the change of routine. I think that, I think it's, in a lot of cases, it's no harder than you make it, but there is a change of routine. I mean, to being on the road and at home, and then I think some football's kind of a creature of routine, and I think that sometimes that, until you get used to it or focus through it, I think that can have an impact.
Grace?
After the Kentucky game, you said that practice didn't look the same that week as it did the 2 weeks before. What adjustments have you made to make sure that practice looks better going into this week?
Well, we haven't practiced yet, so we'll, what do the politicians say? They circle back all the time, don't they? We'll all circle back. There's not a chance in hell I'm circling back, but if you happen to find me and ask again, I'll probably give you a pretty good answer.